Welcome, everyone, to San Antonio by Night Blood Gambit, episode 15. Where we had left off, our coterie had decided that they would not be taking part in the destruction of another kindred from another domain. Instead, they decided that they would do quite the opposite, actually. They decided that they would instead inform the target of this hit that Baron Jameson was out for their blood. A Bruja by the name of Jorge Guerrero. As such, by informing this particular person that the Baron of another domain is looking for their blood, the coterie has now maybe a brief period of time before Jameson catches wind. And so, what is a coterie to do except to continue on? Mr. Levit has decided to make some emergency plans should this lack of kindred blood on their hands come back to bite them. So Mr. Levit, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've been planning behind the scenes and what you're planning to do here at Club Cosmo, since Velda's gotten back in touch with you.
Jacob's first move and his biggest priority was making sure that his coterie would be safe should things go awry. When things go awry. After all, things are frequently going awry when it comes to kindred. When he went to Isabella with a warning regarding the potential situation arising with Baron Jameson and Baron Batista. Isabella then took that information to Velda, and now she has invited him to Cosmo. It is somewhat unnerving to have been invited so quickly by Baron Velda. Their last interaction was at the Zombie, and it had gone quite well. She seemed to enjoy her time there, and she was quite amenable to conversation then. But now, Jacob sits at the bar, legs crossed, hands resting, or elbows resting on the bar top, just looking at the scenery and waiting for Baron Velda.
And what you see around you is a club that very much caters to the night crowd, not necessarily much into the evening, more or less. It's more of a nightclub. You have people dancing, you have people drinking, you have people having a wonderful time, just indulging in the various vices of this club. The decor is pristine. The atmosphere is that of luxury, even though this particular part of town isn't necessarily a luxurious side of town. Maybe a wellspring of wealth and status, and perhaps even fantasy in an otherwise middle-class area of town. The cover charge at the door was pretty affordable, so it maybe affords an escape for many of its patrons. To pretend that the luxuries of life are at their fingertips, when really, as soon as they leave, they go back to the doldrum of their own personal lives. As you're sitting waiting, you see one that you know to be Baron Velda. Long black hair with straight across bangs. Very sort of revealing halter top with a pair of very skinny black pants. Adorned in jewelry. And another young woman. One I don't think that you have met before. Also, long black hair, but she's dressed a little bit more like she's in the wrong place. She has a t-shirt on with a button down on over top, jeans, maybe sneakers. Her hair is kind of a little bit more wispy than Baron Velda's. You overhear the young lady tell Velda, I really do appreciate your advice. I guess we'll talk more again soon. And Velda says, oh, of course. Absolutely, anytime. And the young woman goes, passes you as she's going towards the door. She stops to glance at you for a moment, but then makes her way to leave.
Jacob makes note of her face. Kind of just committing her to memory. Obviously, she is a kindred of sorts, perhaps. But who knows?
And it's just in that moment that Velda actually spots you at the bar and, with a bit of a quick pace, walks up towards you and kind of leans in, with the music being a little loud as it is. Welcome to Cosmo, she says,
Thank you for your...
taking the drink that you have in front of you. And it gives it a whiff before setting it back down. Interesting choice.
Thank you for your invitation, Ms. Velda von Sventgal Zualtenberg, wasn't it?
Quite right. Pretty close on the pronunciation, but many people don't get it right. So, Velda's fine.
Well, thank you very much for your invitation, Miss Velda.
Of course.
How are you doing this evening?
She looks around the bar. And then back at you. Doing pretty well for myself tonight. For a Wednesday.
I see that. This is quite a lovely joint you've got going. Very clever business strategy. Low costing, but for luxury. The illusion of wealth.
Of course. Obviously, there's a dress code in order to be able to even come in the doors, but I figure making things affordable when you have to dress the part is the least I could do.
Good choice.
So you have an eye for business, then?
I try to.
try to.
Certainly not as good as others.
Is that a bit of flattery?
Simply the truth. My expertise lays within the legal field, not so much within the business field.
Aha. Well, Mr. Legalese, you'll find that my bar is completely up to code and completely legal.
I'm not
you
here to
question
judge.
No, of course not. No, you had other juicy little things that you wanted to talk about, according to
Yes.
Isabella.
Yes. Possibly not best spoken about in public areas, however.
Agreed. Come with me. She leans off of the bar and goes to walk down a hallway behind the bar.
Yep, Jacob will follow.
You may be getting an eye from the bartender for a second, but he realizes that you're following Velda and thinks nothing else of it. Just kind of shakes his head, because that's probably, what, the third person that he's, maybe second for sure, maybe third, that he's seen tonight at least.
I imagine this is a very frequent occurrence for Velda, particularly with young men.
Just shakes his head and goes about his business.
Yes,
But-
knowing her feeding type.
As the person who created her, yes.
Yes, yes.
She takes you back to an office. It's a little small compared to maybe other offices you've seen in other establishments, but it's enough for her to sit at a desk and have someone sit across from her. So she motions to the chair and takes the other seat herself and kind of leans in it a little relaxed.
Jacob will sit across from her, also kind of leaning back and crossing his hands in his lap. I had a request made of me, not just me, of the little band of misfits that I've gathered.
Uh-huh.
It was a request made by Baron Jameson.
Oh, and what is he up to this time?
He sent Mike Moore to let us know that he wanted us to remove a Bruja from Baron Batista's domain with the apparent intent of upsetting the balance of her domain.
Under her bangs, you see that she cocks a brow. And did you?
No.
Ballsy.
Well, considering it came with a threat, I am not one who takes well to threats. And I have, as of this point, no reason to be particularly loyal to Baron Jameson, save for the fact that I supposedly take root within his domain.
Well, yeah, the West Lakes domain, quote unquote, has always been part of Jameson's little, well, part of his collection of domains. It makes sense that he put you there. It was overrun with a Sabbat previously, and, you know, that was a whole mess by itself. But that's ancient history.
The city seems to have quite a lot of history.
That it does.
Sabbat, Second Inquisition, Camarilla takeovers, and yet it still stands.
Because the backbone of this city has always been solid.
So what then happens when one of those who makes up the backbone of the city attempts to disrupt it?
And you're sure Jameson gave him the order to give to you. Not that I question you, but...
Jacob leans forward in his seat, resting his hands on the edge of her desk, looking her directly in the eye, and says, "This is the order that we received through Mike Moore from Baron Victor Jameson."
Okay.
My intent is I do not wish to see this city rocked. I believe in stability, and as I have seen in the last few years that I have been present within this city has remained reasonably stable. Reasonably. If one baron were to cause issue with another, it could certainly cause a variety of problems to happen citywide.
You're right.
And inevitably the third baron would be drawn into it, regardless of whether they wanted to be a part of it or not. By telling you, I thought to get ahead of the chain of events. As it stands at this point, I have also asked of my coterie to let the apparent target of this assassination know what is happening, and I have also sought to let Baron Batista know of what is occurring, as such as she may bolster her defenses. Of course, there has been lobs of accusations of Camarilla thrown at her due to her, well, from what I understand, clan. An accusation that I am not unfamiliar with myself.
It's an accusation that's been thrown at her for decades, from what I understand.
And yet, the most Gamarilla thing that I have seen is from Baron Jameson himself.
Don't ever let him hear you say that. He will kill you.
As I have been warned.
He's killed kindred for worse. Or less, even.
As I have also heard.
He's gonna come for your head.
Of that I am certain. But it shall not happen without warning first. And my head is not the only one on the chopping block.
No, it'd be everybody he was associated with.
But at least those that I associate with will have warning.
So I suppose my question to you would be, why would you do that?
Because I value the stability of the many over the few. Because I would like to see the infrastructure and connections that remain within the city to be left as undamaged as possible. Because I do not wish to see the kindred of this city undergo needless hardship for one's greed and ego.
Interesting you should say that.
Why is that, if I might ask?
Rumors say that you are untrue.
The rumors would not be incorrect.
And no amount of greed has anything to do with what you're doing.
We all succumb to greed at some point. And greed is all well and good, so long as it does not get to the point of harming others. Wouldn't you agree?
I would tend to. As I've gotten along with a lot of the kindred that look up to me, and very rarely do I have anyone that actually has any ill will towards me. I think we get along pretty swimmingly around here, actually.
Mark of a good leader.
I do try. Do try my best.
So what are your thoughts on this, if I might ask?
On this situation with Jameson?
Yes.
He's a lunatic if he's making any kind of moves like that.
I believe he has chosen my particular group, not only because we are expendable, but because of the particular accusations that have been lobbed against myself in particular. It would be easy to accuse one such as myself of doing it for their own purposes, especially with accusations of Camarilla involvement already floating around.
Accusations or truths?
Accusations.
Because this city has already suffered an incursion before.
Yes, I have heard about that, and also the string of final deaths that followed.
Indeed.
Was it worth it?
To protect the city? Or to get rid of them?
Both.
Then both.
If the kindred are what make up the city, if we are the ones that guide things as an unseen hand, if we are as paramount to the changes of mortal lives as we would like to think that we are, was it worth it? Was the Camarilla really such a damaging force? As to require so many lives to be ended at their expulsion? I raise it as a point of question. Because such things must be questioned.
Casualties occur in times of war.
That they do.
And we did our best to minimize those casualties as much as we possibly could. But the agents of the Camarilla, whom we did capture, were made example of. On purpose. So that those who would even dare try again would know that they're walking into a den of vipers. And we will do everything in our power to make sure that this city remains a safe haven.
But who is it a safe haven for?
For those looking to escape.
Interesting.
Everyone here has escaped something. The question is, does it follow you?
For one who may be trying to escape something, neither confirming nor denying, this city is rather difficult to make a safe haven within. If it is intended to be a safe haven, for those coming in from the outside seeking such a thing, it is not that.
Well, then you can blame that on 7 years of paranoia.
Indeed.
Because as soon
And how
as
do you...
guards were let down, Kindred died.
I've heard about the quiet memorial that was set up.
Yes.
And the actions of other kindred who go up there to desecrate it.
It has been hard to maintain since there's no one actively doing so at the moment, besides myself.
Why do you maintain it?
To remember. Those who fell for this city in the name of protecting it. They deserve to be remembered that way. Pillars.
And what What of the ones that were destroyed after the fact? Under suspicions of being involved.
What about them?
I've heard that there is a memorial for them as well that gets desecrated on the regular.
That's news to me.
I'd heard it through Baron Jameson's domain.
Who does it memorialize?
I need to check through my notes for that, because that was something that was mentioned. God, who mentioned that to me? I can't find it. The one bad thing about having so many notes.
Because as far as I've ever said, I've only ever mentioned one memorial, and that was to the ones who fell during the first Camarilla invasion.
Yeah, because I remember Mike saying something about it. Yeah, 10 to 15 10 or so people having a pressure. 10 to 15 kindred were executed as an example after the last Cam invasion, and I remember it was mentioned there somewhere that they like to go up and desecrate the memorial for it.
The kindred that were made example of.
Yeah.
I
vaguely remember that being mentioned.
I remember that being the exact wording. It sounded like the memorial was for those kindred.
The memorials, to clarify that, the memorial is to recognize those who have fallen in the name of the Alamo City, such as Baron Delgado, Björn Duval, Dred Sheehy, Martin Jensen, Tom Christensen. Those were all mentioned as being memorialized at the Silverthorn Golf Club.
Yeah, because I remember that being mentioned. I've actually got it written in my notes. I just can't remember.
The reason that though the people of San Antonio remember those who fell for those who were made example of in as far as the Camarilla is because those who were caught were hung from the Tower of the Americas and left to the sun to burn.
Yeah, it's just I do remember something being mentioned about that, and I don't think we were given any names as to who it was.
I don't remember that specifically, but
yeah, well, it was back in like session 2, so
yeah. Ages ago. But as far as like a physical memorial with like plaques with like a stone wall with names engraved, things like that, that's at the Silverthorn Golf Club specifically in a secluded part of the golf club.
I vaguely remember something about a mention of pissing on their graves happening, but I can't quite place it.
I also, there's something in session 2 where it's like people who they weren't 1,000% sure were affiliated with the Cam, so they made the memorials anyway. And a lot of people were not happy about that. I I do remember something about that.
There were a couple of people who were accused of being Camarilla that ended up final dead.
Yeah.
And it was those people who had not been confirmed Cam or not that other members of San Antonio were upset about those people being ashed. In specific, something that we mentioned a little bit earlier is that Rascal, one of the people who were made example of as a part of the showing to the Camarilla, it wasn't confirmed that he was Cam. He was just accused and then sentenced.
Yeah.
So there are members of the community who really think that was going too far.
Okay.
So maybe that adds a little bit of clarity to that.
Possibly. Jacob shakes his head. I was not given names or places, just simply that there was... I'd heard that there were something like 10 to 15 kindred executed. Perhaps not all of them were in fact Camarilla. That is quite a lot of kindred.
A number of them came from other cities to try and establish some kind of, I don't know, some kind of base here. They wanted to convert the whole city into a Camarilla something or other.
Camarilla something or other?
An annexation of Dallas or some shit.
Interesting.
I never really got word exactly from Kyle Calhoun as to what it is that his intentions were in that particular regard. I didn't want to ask.
So the one that attempted was Kyle Calhoun, you said?
He was putting together a whole court, I think.
That's quite a lot of work.
Yeah, and half of them ran with their tail between their legs, the other half died.
That is a lot of kindred. Makes this city quite intimidating, admittedly.
Which makes me really, really wonder why Jameson would attempt to upset the balance knowing what this city holds.
What this city holds. What do you mean by that?
You've heard of the incursion, but you don't recall who united the whole city in order to be able to attack to
I've heard rumors of an apparent war baron.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it. I would certainly appreciate being informed.
It surprises me that you didn't know that. Well, I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but it does surprise me. People coming to this city that don't know the history of it. Trying to escape their prisons without knowing what it is that they're walking into.
Yes, well, when you try to find out what you're walking into, the blockades are insurmountable.
Okay.
So please, fill in the blanks. I would love to hear.
You ever hear of Jackson, Mississippi?
Jackson, Mississippi. I know of the city. I can't say I've ever been there myself.
You know what happened there, though?
No.
Okay. A revolution of sorts. A anarch revolt. Where the entirety of the city's court, was brought to their knees by the uniting of anarchs. One such anarch was a man named Urian Doyle. Came to San Antonio looking to start a new life. And a couple of years later, discovered that the Camarilla from his old town, mind you, were out to A, seek revenge, B, to take the city for Dallas, which the Kyle Calhoun and his whole cohorts had called their new home up until then. So, 7 years ago, Urian Doyle took up the mantle again and made sure that the Camarilla paid for what they did. That's why he's called the War Baron.
Made sure the Camarilla paid. I see. Sounds like quite the clever kindred.
He's one in
So
a
where
million.
do... You sound like you admire him quite a bit.
Taught me a lot in the short time that we were together.
But... not now.
I'm sure he's out there somewhere.
You don't know where he is.
Not at the moment.
Is he even still in the city?
No. It's been several years since we've talked.
Interesting.
I'm sure he's still around somewhere.
Well, if he hasn't been seen for several years, perhaps that's why Baron Jameson has seen fit to make his move.
Maybe.
If the power behind the thrones is no longer here, he may see fit to take it for himself.
You would think he'd wait several more decades, though.
You would think. Unless there's something else going on.
If you have thoughts, I'm all ears.
I could not even hazard a guess at the thoughts of an older Bruja. I feel very much like the difference is like a shallow pool to an open, deep trench. All I know is that I do not wish to be the cause of trouble within the city. nor do I wish to be a scapegoat for somebody else's moves.
It's a little too late for that.
Yes. Well, why do you think I'm here?
The reason I think you're here is you said specifically that you wanted to get ahead of the game and inform me of the moves made by Baron Jameson in order to get ahead. When really, what I think is you're looking for an escape plan.
I'm always looking for an escape.
So if you're asking for something, you need to ask it directly, Mr. Levit.
I had a thought for you, Baron Velda. The space that I have borders your own. In fact, it stands directly next to that of Isabella.
Thus,
What if we were to join your domain? If Baron Jameson is already looking to stir the pot,
you're asking me to annex your domain. The one that you call home. Out of Jameson's hands.
it is supposed to be a sanctuary after all. Is it not?
We do have a sanctuary here. So, what that's gonna mean for you, if that's what you want me to do, is in that particular case, it would become known between all of the barons shortly after we did such a thing. That's obvious. I would have to spend resources and people in order to be able to back you up. Because at this particular moment, you've kind of admitted to me that you're a little unproven as well. So, I would want to have somebody who could keep an eye on you. Obviously.
Obviously. It would not be unusual to have kindred keeping an eye on us. We've already had plenty of eyes on us. As it stands.
So you're used to that supervision thing. Got it.
Yes.
What that would also mean is that if I'm expending that sort of resources, as I'm sure Baron Jameson did for you when he allowed you to occupy that section as well, is I will call in a favor.
You may call in whatever favor you need.
How do I know that you'll keep to your word and won't betray me the same?
My favors come with the caveat that they do not hurt the city.
I should desire that a kindred be removed from the board?
Depends on what your intention is. If your intention is to cause chaos within another domain, for no other reason than your own greed, I may deny it. And you now know that I do not respond well to threats.
You'll make enemies very quickly that way.
Perhaps. But I also believe that it is a good way to make friends.
Keeping to your word is a good way to make friends.
How would you then suggest you hold me to my word?
I can think of one way. You're not going to like it, though.
Open your suggestion.
Blood bond. Swear it in blood.
Risky business. Risky business.
Nothing major.
Blood
I'm not
bonds
gonna
are always a major affair.
I'm never going to turn you into a blood slave, if that's what your concern is. Keep you thinking about what I want. Those are my terms.
Very well.
If you won't do a favor, you'll blood bond.
Well, I've already agreed to a favor, but you can't be sure that I will go through with it.
At least this way, you'll double think about it.
Well played. I agree.
And she'll produce a small knife from somewhere in the desk. Like a letter opener, but it looks much sharper than that. She takes her finger and kind of gives it a slice, and then gives you her hand across the desk, welling up a bead of her vitae in it.
He would take it. Very gently lick the wound clean afterwards. While this is a risk, he is certainly aware that this places interest from her point on him.
She goes back to relaxing in the chair once more, kind of a leg crossed against one of the other. Well, that being settled, in that particular sense, I will do what I can to go ahead and prepare for the oncoming storm of this particular little maneuver we're making.
Sorry, what was that?
Just let me know what you need of me, and it's yours. You need backup, you need personnel, you need blood.
I shall be sure to inform you.
And
And
she'll
with that,
take a
he
business
will-
card and hand it to you.
he will actually trade her business cards
My
just
direct,
to ensure that she has one.
my direct line.
And mine.
And she'll take your card and kind of stuff it into her shirt. Making it very obvious that she's showing you her cleavage too.
Oh, yes. And his eyes do drop to look at it. Because that's more what he knows she wants. A sly smirk climbing across his features.
She is stunning to look at too. It's like she's perfect.
She is very beautiful.
Like
And
the,
dangerous.
the most perfect specimen of woman that you have ever seen.
A rose with plenty of thorns.
Just like everyone likes them.
Indeed. And if Jacob was interested in such things, he would certainly jump at the opportunity. But those things don't really pique his interest. He offers her a handshake
Chill.
and says, if there's nothing else, Baron Velda.
Nothing else I need from you at the moment.
And in which case, I shall wish you a good evening. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your thoughts. She'll shake your hand.
And with that, he will see himself out.
Okay.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
With that amount of blood that he took from Velda,
Mhm.
would he have access to her disciplines?
You only need a taste and the right resonance.
Hey! Cool.
That's the question that we've been discussing in the off week. Is you only need a taste and the right resonance to match up.
Amazing. But yes, that is everything that Jacob wanted to do here.
Okay. In that respect, the only disciplines that would be out of clan for you in regards to hers would be celerity and auspex.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have any others at her disposal.
Yes.
So you-
Celerity is still very useful, and so is Auspex, actually.
you would just need to
Especially
match
with
up the
two
resonance for each one.
Nosferatu.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. Well, if that is all that's going on at Club Cosmo, I am going to suggest we take a quick break and then come back when we determine what it is we're doing next. So, be right back, everybody. Welcome back, everyone, to San Antonio by Night Blood Gambit, episode 15. What we're picking up is Alysse has been tasked with attempting to find information on the Ventru of Batista's domain. Not having a whole lot of contact with that domain herself, she's looking to reach out to others who might know more. So, with that, one of the people that she knows does know more is Ava at Temptations, the nightclub rather famously known for its indulgence in the vices. And when you arrive, it is as you expect. There are dancers, there are club goers, there are people everywhere, having a great time, enjoying themselves, and the music is nice enough. Maybe not to your taste, being a rock idol yourself, but
Alice has always found the sultry, moderately lit boudoir theme of the nightclub Temptations a little on the nose, but satisfyingly tawdry. Alice walks in and heads over to the bar. Approaches the bartender, with whom she's probably spoken to a couple of times now. Maybe there's a passing resemblance of knowledge in her eyes, especially since Alice's number on the stage. And asks, "Is the mistress in?"
I'll let her know you're here. And it's the bartender
Thanks,
you're
Tom.
speaking with is the woman known as Kaylee.
Haley, thank you.
She goes over to a phone behind the bar, punches in a couple numbers, talks quietly into it for a moment before hanging it up. She's on the second floor.
Thanks, doll. She heads up the stairs into the VIP area, I believe.
Yep. And she tells you what booth, and there's a number of booths in this particular section of the bar, and you can either wait patiently or you can give it a knock.
I guess Alice will knock. She was invited upstairs after all.
The booth door opens, and the person you were expecting, Ava, is standing there, very scantily clad, but she invites you into the booth. Her dress consists of a very deep V-neck that kind of goes all the way to the waist, and the rest of the material is just kind of draped over her. It's long, it's flowing, it's beautiful. but is definitely very revealing. Hi.
Well, bless you, Miss Ava. If you aren't a sight for beautiful sore eyes. How have you been, dear?
I'm fine, she says as she closes the door behind you.
Nothing new at the club?
Nothing you need to concern your little head over. No, business. I'm sure you have business of your own at the zombie to worry yourself about. You don't need to be worrying about mine. Have a seat. She motions over to a very circular couch in the center of the room.
He sits, cross-legged, throws her arms back over the, the center part, which I guess stands for a backrest.
Ava sits next to you. Kind of doing similar, just kind of leaning in towards you.
Seems there's a lot of business in the city.
Always is.
I assume none of it concerns you.
Well, that depends. What part of it is concerning you that you would come to me?
Well, I come to you because you are later in the hours than myself. Maybe not in the old ways, but in the ways that matter. And I seek your counsel, but also your help in finding one kindred called Albert Carlson.
I've heard of him.
Have you heard more than I have?
Well, that depends. How much have you heard? I don't know how much you get around.
I heard the man likes his shiny toys. And that's about all.
Yes. Yes, he does. In fact, he is rather influential to some degree about making sure that those shiny toys stay relevant.
Do you mean influencing culture?
In a way, influencing the industry more like. Just
So
as
he's
you
an industry man as well.
Well, just as you and I have some influence in the local bar industry, making us rivals. She says with a bit of a smirk.
Rivals.
Obviously, we cater to very different groups of people, but in a sense. In fact, even Marjani would be considered a rival, even though she is my child.
When do sisters not compete?
When do we not? Especially over this similar industries that would give us the most opportune of feeding arrangements.
Hmm.
It is in our nature to question everything. What is good, what is evil.
So that said,
Please go on.
thank you. I'm looking for him.
Oh,
I'll tell you the whys. Don't mind. But it's important that we speak. He's a bridge to a hard to reach kindred.
and you want to speak with him in order to speak with this other kindred.
Yeah, sorry, I think I'm being as clear as mud.
Well, the way that baronies work, my dear, is you can go directly to your baron. There is no climbing the ladder. If I had something I needed to bring up to Jameson directly, I'd just simply go to him. Or any other kindred in this city. The baronies are divided simply because of the sheer size of this city, as well as maybe differences in the way that things are run, but ideally, you could simply go to Jameson should you need anything from him. He's easy to be found. You could find him at Lone Star Pub. I'm sure this
Sure,
baron also makes
sure.
themselves very easy to find. Or this other kindred, whomever they might be.
Not a baron. Or baroness, as the case would be. No, gosh, I guess I should just tell you who. Are you familiar with one called the Exterminator?
Ah. Baron Batista's exterminator. The
Yeah.
only one who's rumored to go by such a macabre title.
And the only ones that she will talk to are her childer, who is utterly untraceable, and this Albert Carlson, who at least I know has a fondness for guns. And as much as I loved shooting rat snakes as a child, I don't want to go to every single range
That's tedium, yes.
in San Antonio. Absolutely. The height of it. And frankly, the nights are short.
You got better
This
things.
issue is
Yeah.
a titch time sensitive.
Little time sensitive. Well, Emma Baines, the exterminator, is easy enough to find if you know where to find Batista. Because she's her bodyguard. In a very practical sort of sense. Everywhere that Batista goes, Emma's not far behind. Has a very strong way with a sword.
Old school.
Very. Some even say she's older than Batista.
I was going to ask exactly how old school are we talking?
That's not exact knowledge that I have, but Ancilla age. So a couple hundred, maybe 1,000.
Only a couple, she says.
I don't know the exact number.
It's like an aeon to me.
That's because you're quite young, and it's very obvious that you are.
Obvious. It's true I come hungry, but it's not for myself I have this thirst. You know this, right?
You have a very strong thirst for knowledge.
Perhaps. It's been an age, but he's finally spoken again.
Really?
The Red God.
You really think it was him?
Oh, I know it was him. When the red star shone, new in the sky, I as immortal. Well, not to be dramatic, but that's when I collided with a car carrying a relic of his very body. Relic I possess now. He is part of me. Surprised you had not heard that one was chosen to usher in the new century.
My connections are a bit lax lately.
Well, you have a business to attend to.
To be fair, it'd been a long time since I had participated in such an event like the one you held the other week. Not since I left home.
And like I said in my note, thank you again for bringing your flock. They were a wonderful addition.
A favor for a sister.
A favor for a favor, if
That-
I recall.
That too.
As is always with our kind.
It's just not... I don't suspect that Marjani or the others would find it something that they're very comfortable with. This fixation on set is something that we all left behind. In a way.
Not left behind. Buried. Masked beneath temptations. The carnal pleasures of mortals. Where are your temptations, Ava? Where are your bonds, yearning to be broken? He cries for your freedom.
And yours.
Now we force him. And mine. Sorry. I've been a little sensitive since speaking with him. I hope I didn't get too carried away.
No, it's just not something that I've ever experienced myself, so I can't say that I can sympathize.
Have you ever tried?
Long ago.
Set. Duty is a mercurial, absent father. He comes and goes as he pleases, doesn't he?
As are the winds of those who are as aged. If they'd still exist.
I hope you would open your unbeating heart for him again. I hope maybe you would join me for service one time. See if it stirs something or not. Or at the very least, bury yourself in meditation. You'd be surprised he might visit. Since he's decided to walk among us in this strange city. The anarch yet un-anarch city.
What do you mean, unanarch?
You know the orthodoxy. They don't particularly care, one way or another, as long as they're believers. Me, I'm a little more principled. But the structures here, they're not like Kharkiv. They're safe. They should be safe, don't get me wrong. But to see kindred live by fear, rule by paranoia, not embrace one another as true kin. It hardens the heart, creates this past we've all been molded into. Bitter, fragile. What would happen if one of the barons decided that they deserved to be the head of the anarchs? Why indeed need it be a triumvirate? Why? Why not one? What would it take to upheave it all? Who would be left standing in the dust if war broke out again?
Do you suspect a war?
Some cry foul. It appears that one's going to make a move, or wants an excuse to. Who knows if they're going to take a bigger swing if their first shot doesn't land.
Pot shots happen all the time. They're not always successful. But as far as ruling by fear, every person who comes to San Antonio, every kindred who comes to San Antonio from the outside, is running from something. But kindred, vampires, whatever you want to call us, we are beastly creatures. And sometimes the only way to get through to another is by channeling something instinctual. Fear is instinctual. And if you can cause fear in another, then perhaps some degree of control. Fear of that which you do not know is always something to be mindful of.
hence the savior of the church. You greet your beast, you let it sleep. There's nothing to fear. How long does it take for one to grow so accustomed to fear that they no longer view it as a driving mechanism anymore? How long before you're no longer afraid of what was coming after you in the first place?
If you ever get to that point, then you have lost every shred of your humanity left. To no longer have fear is to succumb to that which makes us it makes us inhuman. Fear is human. Love is human. Any emotion is human. And to shed our humanity, well, that's the worst thing you could possibly do.
Love is divine, Ava. And fear is earthly. And enlightenment seeks the end of suffering.
In a very Buddhist sort of way, yes.
So perhaps I'm new agey.
But if your humanity is a chain that you wish to cast off, I can't help you with that. I won't. Emotions are divine all on their own. In a sense that they all, including the negative ones, must be cherished.
Divine, diabolic, perhaps. Or perhaps they're one and the same.
Perhaps it's all just
Our
human.
God.
Perhaps there's no divinity in it at all. Who's to say?
I think the many kindred who were there at the time, and the Methuselahs, and church doctrine holds that you can ascend the same way Sutig did. And if I am his prophet, then so shall I. One hopes.
Well, I don't know anything about prophets or anything. All I can do is tell you that What's important is what's here and now. Having ambitions and goals and things like that, that's perfectly fine. We all have them. But don't let it cloud you from what's important today.
Speaking about what's important for today, could you tell me where I could find Albert Carlson's gun range or office or
Well, you did,
domicile or...
you did say you wanted to speak directly with Emma, did you not?
I want to be able to speak with Emma.
But you don't want to speak with her directly yet.
It means bringing a massage along the way. You wouldn't talk to Maria without an invitation. I won't be visiting the executioner without her favorite kindred.
Hmm. Albert, Mr. Carlson. You're most likely to find him at the ranges just north of downtown. Look for ones that have a 24-hour sign. It's nearby to the
Alice
Sheriff's
stands
Security's
up.
office.
Oh. What's that?
An international securities company and paramilitary.
Well, that's ominous.
Seraph Securities is a widely regarded national company. International, even.
Yeah. Probably make money just blowing up brown people in the Middle East, though, right?
I don't know that they get involved in that. I really don't know the inner workings of the company myself.
Alright, well, I'll have to look on Instagram later or something. I don't know.
On Instagram, you'll definitely find photos of Mr. Rashad Seraph himself.
Rashad Seraph?
The CEO.
Is he, relation?
To
Indrid?
Oh yeah, so far as I know. In fact, last I heard, several years ago, I knew someone who actually had dealings with Mr. Rashad Seraph in Detroit, if I remember correctly.
Hmm.
It's where their home office is.
Not cheap real estate.
I suppose he thought the same.
Yeah, I was hoping for the same here, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
San Antonio is
think I
vastly
might have-
different across whatever portion of the city you're in.
I just meant that I bought more than I bargained for,
Mm.
Ava. Living in Jameson's domain.
Are you discontented?
Not in the least.
Because if you are, obviously that's something that you should bring up. Or at least think about very heavily. But if you're not, then
Thank you for your information, deeply, and for your counsel, just as I asked.
leaving already.
I'm afraid I must. So much to do, so little night.
Let me know how your meeting with Mr. Carlson goes.
I'm sorry, do you want like a real update, or was that like a nice thing to say at the end of a thing?
Why would I not be genuinely curious?
Alright, cool. Well, I'll call you. We'll chat. We just never talk.
You never come by.
Well, got stuff to do. You're busy, I'm busy.
I'm always here.
I know, I always gotta come to you. That's my point.
You are across town,
I'll call
my
you.
dear.
Oh, I am you. You're across town. You see how we... Alright, I'll call you.
I look forward to it.
Alice leaves. What the fuck was that scene?
They're gonna fuck.
Well, I hate to cut the session short, y'all, but I really need to go to bed. So we'll come back to the Nosferatu boys
Well.
next time.
Damn.
Just
That's
on the
fine.
just on the they trying to fuck. I mean, they are ministry.
Yeah.
Our ministry, yeah. That's a good point.
It's kind of a part of their brand.
They try to fuck, you're right.
Look, Temptations is all about vices. That's why she do what she do.
Yeah.
That is very.
Why she
very
do what
true.
she does.
I'd do what she do.
Yeah, sorry, Raven and Velocity. I
No, that's fine.
really
That
wish
gives
we
us
had
a
more
chance
time.
to that gives us a chance to scheme against you. That's all that is.
I suppose it does, yeah.
All that scheming.
Yep.
You love colluding with me.
I do.
No, I don't. Oh,
I do.
Wrong person, I guess.
I
no, I
do.
was talking to Velocity.
Well,
I know Coffee
la-
does this.
last time I
The amount of
colluded with
times
you,
we
you made me
collude on
cry.
bullshit.
yeah, sorry.
Oh, just wait.
I'm
I have
so
such
sorry,
fun
guys.
things
I don't.
for you.
I wish I had more time tonight. I really do.
How dare you do this to me?
We'll get the time thing figured out. That's no big deal.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I'll be faster next time.
Me too.
Which is not something I usually promise.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to refrain from saying shit on that one, Amber. That might get me in trouble.
If I had the ability to, like, kick you from a call, that would have been the time to do so. Like...
No, for one, Amber, it's not your fault. Your timing got fucked over. So.
Yeah, I'm in a different state.
Yeah. Your timing got fucked over, and
yeah. Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff. It's fine. We'll get to more things next time. But in that respect, everybody still does get their one experience for showing up for today, even if you didn't have a scene.
Yay!
So, yay! Do you get so Ambush and Squatch get experience for being here today.
We get the pity XP.
Yeah, we get the pity XP today.
I know we only had the 2 scenes. I'm so sorry.
I built
I'm
a
afraid
character
of
on
what I'm gonna do
PDXP.
next.
You know what? I'm still putting Squatch and Ambush on the poll in case the audience wants to give us pity XP.
Yeah. Give the give
Please
them
pity us. Please pity
please
us,
pity
please
the Nos
us,
boys
please
because
pity
I
us.
couldn't get to them tonight.
That's effed. I worked so
Guys,
hard, and so
I
did.
need you guys.
You
to,
did.
So did
I need
Mox.
you guys.
Yeah,
I
you
need
both.
you guys to sponsor Ambush getting his own TV infomercial, please.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
God.
Uh,
I love that Raven and I just had the exact same fucking reaction.
Look,
Is
I
this
share a
ever-
brain cell with like half the people in this call. So that
like,
doesn't surprise me.
Like, has this ever happened to you before? You know.
Anyway.
We-
we were doing
we love you all.
experience.
Yes. So
So they're
between
fucking asleep.
between the 2 scenes that we had tonight, we're gonna decide who had moved their plot, who had the best scene, and who had our best line for tonight. So best scene. No, plot mover.
Plot mover.
Jacob.
Jake.
Jacob.
Thank you. I am
You talked with Velda. Yep.
causing the chaos.
hmm
I'm causing the chaos.
You're
And
a
she's
well
causing
done.
chaos a
So
little
afraid
bit
of
back
what's
too.
gonna happen. I'm so afraid of what I've lined up because I have no idea what's gonna fucking happen.
Yeah, talking about switching sides.
I've incited a rebellion.
You have
And
on
let
multiple
them fall
fronts.
where they may.
On multiple fronts, brother.
Very well done.
Yep. Isn't
That-
this what the Anarchs are about? Inciting a rebellion? Like,
Mhm.
Yep. Yep. She's
using their own
gone
tactics
native.
against them.
Yes. Best scene.
Best what?
Best scene.
Genuinely, I would take it either way. Which is also something I.
Okay.
Well, guys, I guess it's time for me to log out. I'll see. Yeah.
Vote first. Vote or die. Best
Let's
scene.
hear. I'm honestly kind of torn.
I'm hands off of this one.
I'll
They
give
were
it to
both really
Jacob,
great.
but that's because I think someone had the best line I've ever heard in this campaign ever.
What was the line?
We'll get to it when we go best line now, won't we?
I'll give it to
Okay.
Jacob for the blood bond to Velda.
Mm,
Oh, the
that's
blood
a
bond was
choice.
really
that is
good.
indeed a choice.
Yeah.
It was a choice.
Yeah, blood
That's
bond
a
was great.
choice.
I'm voting for blood bond.
Well, I heard 2 at least for blood bond scene.
Everyone voted blood bond scene. You're not paying attention, apparently.
All right, Jacob, you get it then. All right, then best line.
Blowing up brown people overseas.
Oh god! Oh god!
Yeah, I'll give it.
A little too real.
I-
Little too
I
real.
dropped the
Take
bomb on the podcast. You're welcome.
Oh
Little
god!
too real.
You're the one that said it's 2026.
It is.
I'm not the one that said it in 2026.
Damn it! And you know, I had a line to perfectly follow that up with, like transition to like transitioning scenes. I was gonna be like, guys, you gotta hear about that? It's like, guys, what's the deal with Sarah Securities? You know, it's like, yeah, they're like some big, security. Apparently, they had a helicopter go down in Nevada. That's fucking crazy, right?
Actually, when I talk about helicopters going down, every time you see flags at half mast, it's because a National Guard helicopter went down because helicopters don't want to be airborne.
It's crazy.
The physics are fucking impossible.
Mm.
Every part in a helicopter wants to be on the
You know what
ground.
else is impossible? You
Google
not
it.
subscribing to the
Every
channel.
time.
You know what else is?
That's a
You know what
great
else is
joke.
impossible? You not subscribing to the channel.
You should subscribe to the channel because it is indeed how we sustain things
Vote,
around here.
guys.
Yep. Get
Voting's almost over.
Vote's almost over. We've got several votes in
Vote or
already. But
And Volvo, if you want me to strangle Velocity, pay the gas money for me to get up there.
Yep.
I'll do it.
Yeah, I'm too far now. I can't do it anymore.
Yep.
Coffee won't. It's not in Coffee's nature. Just pay me the gas money and I'll go do it.
Alice, you got audience
Hey.
favorite.
Yep. Alice is the audience's
Nice.
favorite today.
Nice.
Cool.
Yep.
I don't even know what I was doing in that scene. I was just like vibes.
All
Like a leaf on
vibes.
the wind.
All vibes. That's what being in
All
ministry
vibes.
is. All vibes.
Thank you. I love this character.
I'm loving her too.
I feel like there should be some kind of sponsorship there.
I love being like a horny little freak.
Crazy.
Yep.
Yep.
I feel like there should be a sponsorship there.
There, those were words said on this stream.
AdamandEve.com.
Brought to you by Bad Dragon.
Not sponsored.
Fine maker of Ambush's cock.
Wow.
Yeah, they'll call it the bushwhacker, you know?
Fuck.
The ambushwhacker.
Mm,
The Ambushwhacker. That's solid.
yeah.
You guys can't see it, but I'm shaking my head at you.
I'm gonna sculpt that. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make that happen. I'm in a hotel for 6
horrified.
weeks. I got nothing else to do.
Oh, you guys horrify me
Yep,
in
we're
the
all
best ways.
horrible people. Yep.
We
But-
are.
But that being said, if you have been enjoying the show so far and want to do the support things, the free stuff is to follow here on Twitch and to subscribe on YouTube. Says that's free and just takes a button to do. If you like also what you see on YouTube, give us a comment and a like too, because algorithm stuff. So you should do that too. If you want to support the channel in other ways, like financially, you can subscribe here on Twitch for for all the emotes that you get for this channel and stuff like that. So, and it's ad free. So if you decide you want to skip the ads because the ads are a thing, then you should subscribe. But yeah, thanks to my players for being lovely players and playing today, even though 2 of them didn't get a chance to. I'm so sorry.
As I said, it just gives us a chance to collude.
First thing next time, though. But yeah,
Great.
Yay.
thank you all out in the audience for watching as well, for being here for the time that you have. We're gonna potentially find somebody to raid, and we're gonna say goodnight. So, say goodnight, everybody.
Nah.
Good night, everybody.